Joining us now from Capitol Hill, a member of the House Intelligence, Judiciary, and Financial Services Committees, Democratic Congressman Luis Gutiérrez of Illinois. He recently announced his intention to step down at the end of the current term. Thank you for being on the show this morning.
It's good to be with you, Mika. Thanks for having me on.
So what was behind the decision to step down, and what is the next plan?
Sure. Three things. Number one, I have Jesus Garcia, a champion, Bernie Sanders, a lieutenant in that revolution, ready to take the seat. I mean, his dad crossed that border 50 years ago, right, as a bracero. And now his son is an American citizen. And I hope to be a member of Congress. I hope the voters agree with me. Send him to Congress. What a great counterpoint. Trump and someone who can show the contributions of Mexicans and Mexican immigrants. Number one. Number two, my island of Puerto Rico calls for me. My heart bleeds for her every day. I want to work tirelessly on that. And number three, look at the opportunity. Mika, I slept the best I've slept in 10 years. Because I know that going forward, the first 6 months of next year, my wife and I, my family, my daughters, we're going to be able to engage in politics together, not separated by 800 miles, sleeping and living in two different distinct worlds. So I'm looking forward to doing that and raising. Look, what I want to do is create a parallel structure so that we can win in 2020 and defeat Donald. And I want to create that structure in Wisconsin, in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, and Michigan. There are tens of thousands of immigrants there that are permanent residents. I'd like to help them become citizens. I'd like to have civic engagement with them. And I want to coordinate. At the same time, I think it's very important. Look, think about it. I can keep pressure on my own party to make sure my party is true to its immigrant causes.
Susan.
You just mentioned about working throughout different states. Are you working with the National Democratic Party? I mean, are you signing on in that role officially?
No, I think I have always seen myself as someone outside the Democratic Party official structures. Whether it's here in the Democratic Caucus, I'm a member of the Democratic Caucus, proud to be there with my colleagues. But look, I've never held a title here, any title, in the Democratic Caucus. So I think my effectiveness is always working to improve the Democratic Party.
So do you think they need to now update their way of doing business? I mean, are you coming in as kind of the one to upset the apple cart, if you will?
No. I want to strengthen that apple cart, right? I want to use my ability. As all of you very well know, I visited 100 cities during the last 10 years. I have friends, there are fighters out there. I'm going to engage them in a conversation. I'm going to say, what's the best way that Luis Gutiérrez can help defeat Donald Trump in 2020? And I don't want to do it here in Congress, but I am going to make sure. Look, here's a goal, right? When we win in 2020, immigration reform is going to be possible. Until we take back a majority here, until Donald Trump is no longer president of the United States and we have a committed leader, a woman or a man in the White House that's a committed leader to immigration reform, that goal will never be accomplished. So, look, Joe Scarborough left Congress. He didn't retire, did he?
No,
he continued. He didn't retire. Neither am I. Because you change your focus and your energy and your priorities doesn't mean you're retiring and leaving behind. No, I know there's a lot of sad people out there that want me to stay here. You humble me by your calls of sadness, but don't despair. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to see you in your neighborhood very soon, in your city, in your county, in your village. I intend to come and visit with you and to organize with you so that we can achieve the goal together.
Mike Barnicle.
So, Congressman, you've been there for a quarter of a century. That's a lifetime in politics. And prior to that, you were an alderman in Chicago, which is like being in the World Wrestling Federation.
Yes.
So you're leaving, and you're talking about your effectiveness and your goals. What's going to happen with DACA before you leave?
We're in a really good place. So right after the break, the Labor Day break, we came back. And there was a deal put together and we extended it. It lasts, obviously, as we all know, till December 8th. Here's what I said then, and many Democrats have echoed this sentiment. If you want to have a budget, the budget also has to reflect our ideals, our goals, right, our aspirations. And a deal without a DREAM Act in it is not one that I'm going to vote for.
So will you shut down would you shut down the government in order to get DACA done?
Here's the deal, right? There are 240 Republicans. They need 218 votes. They run the House of Representatives. I'm in the minority. I'm in no position to shut the government down. But if they cannot find enough votes to pass the budget, I'm ready to sit down with Republicans. Here's what I think. I think the grown-ups here, and there are many, Republican and Democrats, women and men who are sensible, should all put together a budget that's a reflection of American values. Part of those values is to have a DREAM Act, set those 800,000 young people aside, and then let's put a budget together. And you know what? Let's send it to the crazy man over at the White House. So he has nothing to do but to sign it. Let people who are sane, prudent, responsible, patriots here put together a budget for the American people.
So before you go, I'd like to ask you about Congressman Conyers and whether or not you think he should step down given everything that has been reported so far.
Number one, right decision to step down from his judiciary leadership position. Can't be there given these allegations. The Ethics Committee is going to continue to investigate. I hope they do it quickly, swiftly, because that's what those women deserve. They deserve a swift, quick answer and conclusion to this. I think it's incumbent upon him. Look, I believe in a process here, and I believe that people are innocent until proven guilty, but guess what? I also believe the women, and I think we need to get to this as quickly and as effectively as possible so that we're showing respect for those voices that are rising across America. We need to be respectful, so we need to be.
Congressman Luis Gutierrez, thank you very, very much for being on the show this morning.
Good morning.